All right, hello and welcome. So, you want to land that first software engineering job, right? Specifically in mobile apps. Well, you have definitely come to the right place. Today, we are going to break down the entire roadmap for becoming a React Native developer, looking ahead to 2026. Let's dive in.
So let me ask you something right off the bat. Are you ready to build apps that could actually end up on millions of phones? Seriously, because that's exactly what React Native empowers you to do. We're not just talking about learning to code here. We're talking about making something real that people will actually use.
Okay, I get it. You look at one of these full roadmaps and it looks insane, right? Super overwhelming. But don't worry, just think of this as your personal training plan. We're going to take this big, scary map and turn it into a simple, step-by-step journey. And we're going to do it together.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll cover why React Native is even a thing. Then we'll hit week 1, the foundation. Week 2 is all about the building blocks. Week 3, we make things interactive. After that, we level up with some pro skills, and finally, we'll talk about how you get your app out into the real world. Simple as that. All right, let's start at the very beginning. What is React Native? And, why is it going to be your new best friend? Well, long story short, it lets you use JavaScript, the same stuff from web development, to build a real native mobile app. And the best part? You write the code once, and it works on both iPhones and Android phones. It's a huge, huge time saver.
Okay, week 1, the foundation. Think of this as setting up your workshop. You wouldn't try to build a table without your saw and your hammer, right? Same idea here. We got to get all our tools ready to go before we write a single line of app code. This part is super, super important.
So what are these essential tools? Well, before you even install anything, you need some knowledge. We're talking basic JavaScript and CSS. And of course, since it's React Native, you gotta know the basics of React itself. You need to get your head around components, what state and props are, and JSX. Trust me, this is the ground floor. Everything else gets built on top of this.
And right away, you have your first big decision to make. Expo or the React Native CLI? Let's make this simple. Expo is like booking an all-inclusive resort. Everything's handled for you, it's super easy to get started, and it's perfect for most apps. The CLI? That's like deciding to build your own log cabin in the woods. You have total freedom, sure, but you're also responsible for everything. My advice? If you're just starting out, go with Expo. It's a no-brainer. You can worry about building the cabin later.
This right here, this is your day-to-day life as a developer. It's a loop. You write some code in VS Code, Metro, your translator, bundles it up, and boom, you see it on your phone or a simulator. Oh, something's broken? No problem. You use the debugging tools to figure it out. And the best part is fast refresh, which means you see your fixes instantly. You just get into this rhythm. Code, see, fix, repeat. Getting good at this flow is everything.
All right, week 2. The workshop is ready. Now it's time to actually start building stuff. We're going to learn about the core building blocks of any React Native app.
Okay, if you learn one thing this week, let it be this. Components. What's a component? It's literally a Lego brick for your app. Think about it. A button is a Lego brick. An image is a Lego brick. A title is a Lego brick. Your entire app is just a bunch of these Legos snapped together to create the user interface. That's it. That's the whole idea.
So how do these Lego bricks know what to do? This is huge, and I promise you, this will come up in a job interview. There are 2 ways: props and state. Props are like instructions passed down from a parent component. Think of it as me telling a button component, hey, your color should be blue. State, on the other hand, is the component's own private memory. The button itself remembers I'd been clicked 5 times. So props come from the outside, state is internal. You have to know the difference.
So, what are some of these Legos that React Native just gives you for free? Well, you've got your essential starter kit. A view is just a basic box or container. Text is for, text. Image shows pictures. For lists of stuff, you have scroll view and the super important flat list. And of course, button and pressable are for when the user taps something. You're going to be using these 5 or 6 components constantly. Okay, so you've snapped your Legos together, but right now it's probably pretty ugly. Styling is how we fix that. It's how you control the colors, the fonts, the spacing, the whole look and feel. We use something called Style Sheets and a layout tool called Flexbox to arrange everything perfectly on the screen and make it look amazing.
Week 3, let's go. So far, our app looks nice, but it doesn't do anything. It's just a pretty picture. This week is all about bringing it to life, making it move, navigate, and talk to the internet. This is where your app starts to feel,
like an app. We're talking about handling what happens when a user taps the screen. We'll set up navigation so they can actually move from one screen to another. We'll even look at deep linking. That's when someone clicks a link on a website and it opens right up to a specific page in your app. This is the stuff that makes the user experience feel smooth and magical.
You know, most apps are pretty useless if they can't talk to the outside world. They need data. Networking is how your app connects to the internet. We use a simple tool called Fetch to go out and grab information from a server. This could be anything: weather updates, user profiles, the latest articles. Your app fetches that data and then displays it to the user.
But what about stuff the app needs to remember right on the phone? Like, has the user logged in before? Do they prefer dark mode? For that, we need to store data locally. We use tools like asynchronous storage to give our app a memory, so it can remember user preferences even when it's closed and reopened.
Okay, deep breath. You've got the fundamentals down, you can build a decent app. But now it's time to level up. We're going to talk about the skills that take you from just a beginner to a pro, the stuff that will actually get you hired in 2026. Listen up, because this is a big one. Professionals write tests. It's not optional. You use a tool like Jest to write little programs that automatically check your code to make sure it's not broken. Let's go back to the Legos. It's like having a robot that inspects every single brick for cracks before you use it to build your giant castle. It's your safety net. It catches bugs before your users do.
At the end of the day, users don't care how beautiful your code is. They care if the app is fast and smooth. A gorgeous app that feels laggy is a bad app, period. So you need to learn about things like frame rates, how to make your lists scroll without stuttering, and how to find the slow parts of your app. Seriously, a little trick with something called a flat list can make or break the user experience.
And here we are, the final boss. You've built it, you've tested it, you've made it fast. Now for the really cool part, launching it. Let's talk about how you get your app out of your computer and onto the app stores for anyone in the world to download.
Honestly, publishing sounds scarier than it is. For both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, you'll need to pay for a developer account. The main difference? Apple has actual humans who look at your app to make sure it's good and safe. That can take a day or two. Google's process is mostly automated, so it's usually faster. You just have to follow the rules for each store.
And that's the whole journey, from a blank screen to a real, live app on the store. We took that giant, complicated roadmap and boiled it down into an actual plan. So now the map is yours. The only question left is, what are you going to build?